Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please go ahead in the chat box and type in the number 1 to let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Morning, Brenda. Zorio, good afternoon. Helen, morning. Morning, Paul. Hey, Sarah, good morning, dear. All right, it's great to see some very familiar faces like John. Good afternoon, John, and some brand new ones. So welcome to those of you that are brand new. Kevin, good afternoon, sir. All right. Fantastic. So how has today been as a trading day? How are you guys making out today? Is it a good day, bad day? Put your trades in. Let me see them. Put them in. Come on now. This is all about sharing. Sharing is caring, right? Slow day, nothing. I understand, Paul. Just one of those days. Tom said it's been a great day. Kevin said, no trades yet for me today. Understand, sitting on my hands, Paul. There you go. Kyle said, it was good to hear from Ryan last week. He's been hiding since the last company. Yes, Kyle, he's back, baby. He's back. Sarah said, made $1,070 on NQ overnight. There you go, Sarah. Whoop, there it is. Oh, you're quite welcome, Dory. Dory said, thanks for this, for learning, right? Absolutely, Dory. We're here. I mean, this is what we do. I love it. I love teaching this. So fantastic. Good. Guys, next week, I believe it'll be next week, you're in for a treat. We will be doing this on not only a different platform, you'll still be able to log in on Zoom, but it looks like we're going to be on multiple social programs or platforms, not just YouTube. And it looks like Monday will be our test of all of this. So Amy, you got to strap yourself in. Sorry, Amy, it was the wrong word I gave you there in the text. Just take a look for it on the site. You'll see it. Let's see. Neo puts selling weekly at $36. Okay, nice. Earl. So not only will we be using a different platform, we will be doing it live from the office where I don't forget to turn on my video camera because Sean will have multiple cameras going at one time on me. So we've got a 2-camera shoot set up in our office. We've got a huge ticker, 8-foot long ticker that runs across the top, 50-inch TV on the wall. We'll be doing all the final setup this week for it. I'm excited to introduce you to our trading studio or recording studio. Tom said DQ long put still in and good. Labu long put entered Friday. CHWY long calls going well. To all green positions. There you go. Excellent, Tom. Yeah, I did a couple of naked puts on Friday, which worked out well. You know, today we're not off much in the market, but by losing 2.5, almost 3 full days of time value deterioration over the weekend, man, it's awesome because the value of the puts have dropped that I sold. I'm a couple of dollars out of the money on each one of them, so life is good. All right, keep in mind all the candidates that we discussed today are for educational purposes only. So we've got a couple things coming up. Trading You comes up. The next one is April 21st. Patterns in a Flash is on April 14th. Tony does that for his students in his training. Inner Circle is April 15th. And then Monster Market Movers on 22nd. Mastermind Group is each and every Tuesday. We'll be going through our 3rd week of 28 days to mastering the Mastermind Group. And then free trainings we've got coming up. Power Hour on Mondays. Here you are. Coach's Corner every Friday. This week is Brandon. So if you're not familiar with Brandon, Brandon is a CMT, which basically means he has a PhD in technical analysis. Right? Patterns to Success, that passed. That shouldn't be up there. And all of the other trainings, Power Option Plays, Cover Call Explorer, E-Mini Think Tank, are on their regularly scheduled program. Yeah, Tom said Ryan was awesome. He was and is awesome. Guys, here's the follow us page. Please do, and I mean please do follow us. And I want to thank you again. We hit yet another hurdle on hitting a huge download number on one of our more recent podcasts. There's a new podcast going up today on the Stock Market Millionaire, but you're going to start seeing more and more social posts go out from me, live video, just, off the cuff type videos. We'll be on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. Just here's a quick video. More tweets going out. But go ahead, please download the podcasts from whoever your favorite podcast company is. It's on Apple, it's on Google, it's on Spotify. There's 3 or 4 other major ones that we've hit already. Takes a couple of weeks for them to get your first one up there, and then they're usually pretty good. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, we have had a couple of requests on our trading clock, and we've had to tell people that we were sold out because we did fill up. I mean, the last one I sent went over to Europe. Daniel got one. I remember that. We sent them one over to Europe as well. Recently went out. I did just get a quick batch in, small. I begged them to send me whatever they could get for us, and we've got just a handful of them. So guys, if you're interested in the clock, the trading clock, this is a picture of it, right? It is a metal clock. It's a 14-inch aluminum clock. It's about, I don't know, 1.5 inches thick, wide, deep, whatever you want to call it. It's a great little trading clock. It gives you good indication. I don't make a trade without it. Mine is up there. I don't know if you can see where there is. You can't see it, but it's there, hanging on the wall above my door. And I look at that clock to see what zone we are in every time before I'm ready to place that trade. I would do it here, but I got to do this because my monitors go up above my head here. That's about the height of my monitors where my hand is. You can't see it all, but it's up above my head. Right? So if you're interested, Amy just dropped a link in the chat box. Go ahead and grab it. If not, no worries. Top Three Strategies is a futures training helm. What guns are on the wall? I got a 22 up there, Will, and I have a BB rifle is the other one that I had gotten when I was a kid, right? And then hid for 2.5 years before my mom finally saw it. Nope, that's it, just 22. All of the bigger stuff is elsewhere. Yeah, I made the rack. I made the rack for it. Okay, beautiful. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on. Let's get live data stream coming in here. All right, let's bring up some symbols. Let's go to all symbols. SPX. All right. So let's go take a look at the S&P 500. All right. So last week was phenomenal. Right? Here we are. Friday was the 9th, right? And then we go Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Monday started it off. What a great catalyst. And I need you to start looking at the charts for some of you, in a different way than you do now. What causes, let's see. Come on. I just want to zoom in on it so you can get a better view. That's not going to do much more there. Okay, that's as big as I can get in on it, right? What if this is Monday right here, right? That's Monday. We got this move up Monday. Look at the overall pattern that took place throughout the course of the week. Why such a big move on Monday and more of a muted move on Tuesday and Wednesday? And then Thursday was a gap. Friday was a huge move. But why that Tuesday, Wednesday move of last week? And if you're not sure which it is, actually, I can't do that. I need this. If you're not sure, that's Wednesday and that's Tuesday, right? Why do those candles not look more like Thursday and Friday? Why the pattern that they have there? Well, Good Friday was when? Good Friday was not this last Friday. We were open this Friday, right? That was the week before, right? So here, the week before, we're at Thursday and then Monday, right? So that's here. So, okay, so you're saying Good Friday caused it? Got it. Okay, Jim, 4-2 was Good Friday. Waiting on Powell. All right, Tom. Yeah, Robert, it is the size of a Chicago deep dish pizza. It's exactly what it is. Glass on the front, great movement inside. I've already seen 3 of them come through, so there's not a whole lot of them left. We do have more coming, but we don't have them today. Tripp said no trading, so lots of trading on Monday, then resting on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's exactly it, Tripp. Good catch. So, guys, first off, The catch on the holiday was huge. All right. I didn't bring you back to last week purposely to show you that this day was Thursday. Right? We didn't have a Friday because the market was closed. On a 3-day weekend around a holiday, right, which is where we get them, that a 3-day holiday weekend, not always, but you tend to have a more happy mood on Monday. Now, that wasn't the whole reason for the gap up, but it certainly helps when that happens, right? So we get our gap up on Monday, but we had such a massive run on Monday. On Tuesday and Wednesday, the market was going, woo, holy mackerel, I just need a rest. Wow, right? And that's exactly what it was. It was a resting period, right? That gap up. Well, actually, let's talk about the gap up. I need the delete key. Okay. Let's talk about the gap up right here. Or this candle, I should say. Not just the gap up. And let me draw an arrow to it so I make sure y'all on the same page with me. So that candle right there, I just don't want it to touch the candle. Right? So it's 3 candles ago. That little bodied candle with the wick stretching down. Okay? When we look at that candle, we had a gap up and then a pullback on the gap after that gap before we wound up closing up on the day. Not at the all-time high, but we had an all-time high at that point, but we did have a new all-time closing high as well. So give me some reasoning. Talk to me about the move back down into that wick. What's happened? There's 2 different things that I am specifically looking for here. What took place? Joan said possible rising 3. Yeah, possible. Not my favorite way of looking at them, Joan. I like more of the pullback in the candle, but I see what you're saying. Jim said, or was it people, traders saying I need a rest? Maybe. Either way. Robert said the 4,100 level. All right, so we did open up. We pushed up higher. We got up to a high. I don't know what part of the day it was. At 40.98, we're looking at 4,100 right here. You can see the horizontal line. Doji hesitation. Yes, I like true Doji, Brenda, more than I do that bodied in there. Doesn't impress me as much, right? Larry said about closing the gap. That's one of the things I was looking for, Larry. So if let me see if it lets me do this. I'll bring it back on screen. Just trying to zoom in on it so you can get a better view. That's too big now. Okay. Well, maybe not. So if we look, here was our closing price right here. That's closing price. Here was our opening price. That's our gap, right? If we take 50% of that, right? We came down and we had a half gap fill. We tried to fill the second part, the whole gap, but we did not get that entire gap to fill, right? So part of it was that half gap fill. That's one of the things that I'm looking for, right? Good, Trip. I'm going to hold off on it for a second. Jim said it looks like the 3 gap move dirty one, but there are 3 gaps in the past 2 weeks. 2 weeks of candles. Okay, so I'm going to unscrunch that. We do have a couple of gaps in there, and they're continuation gaps is what they are, right? We get a gap, a continuation gap, a continuation gap. That half gap fill, that's number 1, right? That's the first thing I'm looking for. And you could have used this as a resistance. Absolutely, Larry. Yep. Amy, can you take care of Chip's request in there for his clock? Sugar and Amelia to take care of that, Chip. All right, so the other thing, the only person that had any reference to it is Trip. I just got to find his text. Okay. You're welcome, Chip. So Trip wrote, bears fighting hard but losing. Okay, let me get rid of the lines I've just inserted in there, right? Including, well, I'll leave the arrow. So what's taking place now? All right. We took this gap up, and there are bears out there in the market, traders that are saying, I wonder if this is the top, short term, albeit, but if this is a top, and we get these traders out there saying, let's try to pull it down a little bit. So they throw some money at a bearish position, at a bearish trade. They start driving the price down, whatever it is, shorting the stock, whatever it is, not huge amounts, but enough for interest to take place. And then they step back and they do this. Okay? Remember, the position's in the chair, right? This is the trader's safest position. Your hands cannot reach the keyboard, right? They're back here. You can't do anything stupid. Not that any of you have ever done that. It's only me that does stupid things in his trades, right? You can't do anything stupid in the market right now. Your hands are back here, okay? They're watching and they saw the move down. We got the half gap fill, so that definitely was a help. And then we pushed back up. So as we start climbing, what does that do? What does that tell traders? Okay, the bear move, traders are not accepting, they're not taking, they're not agreeing with a pullback here. So we're going to go long, right? And then the next day, we opened up just under that 4,100 level. And let's go look at SPX. Let's see, $ SPX.X. Let's go do a snappy to snap at 4,100. All right, now I'll adjust the price. I don't really care where I drop it. All right, so what happened? On Friday, right here, I'm pulling in even more, right? We don't really need to see today. Actually, if I get rid of the end of today, of Friday, it'll be even better, right? Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. So we opened down below, and there's a 5-minute chart, guys, upper left-hand corner. We opened down below the 4,100. We pushed up with a wick and we pulled back. Okay, so me sitting right here, 4,100. The next candle, we opened about where we were, where we closed were. We pulled down, we stretched up, and we got a close just above the 4,100. Actually, our closing price was $4,100.09. So we're kind of right there. So on the first candle, candle 1 of the day, this is my position sitting back here. Candle 2, as it's forming, right there, I went from sitting here to sitting straight up. Okay? And I watched us close right above that level. The third candle, and I'm just using different colors, not red, blue for any particular reason. That's the only 2 colors I have there, and that's just ones I grabbed. That third candle right there, I went from sitting straight up to leaning forward just as that third candle of the day opened up. Why? The very first 10 minutes of the market, which is where they have all the market orders going in, all the looky-loos getting stopped out and whipsawed because of the way they put their orders in, all of that is kind of past. You get that first retest or rest in the marketplace usually. And again, you'll see some of this stuff on the clock, right? And then we started to make that climb. At that point, this was an open target to open season, wabbit season, duck season, wabbit season, duck season. It was open hunting season to start finding potential trades. So what did the market makers do yet one more time? They stepped back in again and said, ooh, we made an all-time high. We get this pullback, and this is all to shake out the looky-loos. Oh, it's failing. It's going to fall. See, it's an all-time high, but it's fake. It's a here, kitty, kitty, whatever you want to call it. And that right there pulled out a lot of the skittish traders. A lot of trades going off. And I don't mean just on S&P. I'm talking more about on individual stocks, as you saw the same pattern set up. And then we got the continuation move up from there. You see, being able to sit back and talk intelligently about what's going on in the market right now and why things have happened are probably the biggest catalysts to help you in your trading. To help get you successful, these are 2 of the things you are going to have to, not should, not might, not have to become extremely proficient at reading what the market and or an individual stock is doing. So let me go back and look and see what we've got here. Okay, not much. So Brenda said, buyers are stronger, continues to make higher highs and then higher lows. Exactly, Brenda, right? That was the shakeout there. And you can see how Friday closed. Amazing push into the close on Friday, right? Today has been more of a muted day. We're down 6 points on the S&P. I'm good with that since I am short calls on my SPY. So I'm okay with that for my position. So I'm happy with that position. I have a covered call written on it that expires today. And then Wednesday, I'll write another one that expires on Wednesday. And I'll look to do it again on Friday. All right. So when we look at the overall picture, the overall market, that's what's going on. Friday was just an enormous moving day, right? You get the move up, the retest of the 41 and the bounce. The question is for me, let's see. Let me go and get a little bit of a bigger picture here. All right. Let's go look at the let me write the number down because I will not remember it. 4108.83. All right, let's go look there. Let's go snap a line. Come on, there we go. 4108.83. All right, so let's bring it down a little bit. So now back to Friday. This was the shakeout. And then this was resistance right in here. We pushed up, and then what happened? Bulls threw more money at it, and we went sideways. Why? We're at all-time highs now. This is taking place 1:45 in the afternoon or so, close to 2 o'clock. We go sideways, and then we dip back down. And we dip down at a major level, 4108.83. That is a negative 618 fib level, right? A critical level. We pull back down to it intraday before we get our bounce, right? Once again, trying to drag out the looky-loos, and we did. Look at the candles that are happening right in here. Look at these candles. Fairly small, nothing ultra exciting about them, nothing bad, but nothing that's jumping out going, oh my goodness gracious, this is horrible. This is great. Nothing at all. It's just, yeah, we're just trading. It's just there. It's just moving sideways. Once we broke down through this negative 618 fib line, look what happened on the breakout candle. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll say 4. 4 candles were phenomenal. This is a thrusting pattern, a clean thrust, it's considered, right? We had a little hiccup in the middle, right, where we went sideways for a candle. And once again, that was the, woo, I just need a rest, baby. Right, we had this little red candle, which definitely is going to scare some of the traders out, and that run right into the very close of the day. Great move, all right? You need to be able to look at this on a chart and say, this is what I see. And the problem you're going to contend with is we are dealing with this now every single day because we're near or at all-time highs on the various markets. All right, so, I mean, a rectangle, we could call this, you know, this here, rectangle if you're looking on back in here, Brenda, but realistically, come on, E-mini, what is this? What is this pattern? Kevin, Trip, sorry, I can't, there's hundreds of you in here, so, oh yeah. What are we looking at here, guys? Those that have been with me in the E-mini, what is this? You knew to take that trade. You knew it was coming. It's a pressure cooker. Right, PK, it's a compression type pattern. Right, Larry, pressure cooker, exactly. It's a pressure cooker pattern, right? And think of the pressure cooker building up steam. You can't open that pot up, dang, then it'll explode, right? There's pressure building up inside of here. And we got the explosion right here. That was the confirmation exploding out of the top of that rectangle inside of there. Let's see. Brad said, how much weight do you give the Monday pre-market over other days of the week? So none of this, just as an FYI, Brad, none of this, and that was a YouTube question, but none of this is pre-market candles, right? These are all actual open market candles. I look at the pre-market, keep in mind there's a lot of manipulation going on in there in pre-market. People are putting orders out there that they never have an intention to fill, and they put them in there to drive in a direction. Ooh, somebody's got an order in to buy at this price or to sell at this price, and they're using that to drive in a direction. They just keep moving their order up the order bar. It's never out there with the intention of getting hit, right? But they're doing it as if there's the impression that there are buyers and or sellers out there for their position, their trade, and it's grabbing people that don't know any different into it. So I don't necessarily put more weight into one day's pre-market than the other. I do look at the pre-market every day, but realistically, for me to look at pre-market is pretty simple. I'm coming over to this template on TradeStation. I'm looking at the ES, which is the S&P 500 futures contract, mini futures contract. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where I would look for pre-market. Because then, Brad, I analyze pre-market not as 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning. I analyze that right here as this is Sunday, right? 4/12, right? Trading day, today's trading day, but it's at what time frame we have here? This is at 0:1500, actually, my bad. So here it is. This is the open right here, all right? Let's get rid of that. So the open is right here. If we come back to this, we're at 16:45 on the 9th, which is Friday. And then we get here at the 11th, which is Sunday. We open at 6 o'clock. I'm looking at the open here, Brad, and I'm also looking at what's going on in the European markets per se, around that 3 to 4-ish o'clock is more what I'm looking for there, right? And then from that, we got this great breakout, retest, breakout, retest, breakout, retest, breakout, right? And this is where Sarah had said making, I forget what it was, $1,000, 1070, something like that, on an overnight trade on NQ that was on NASDAQ. But I look more to this to be more accurate, Brad, because it's taking account Globex, or the global S&P 500 that's trading around the world actively right now, markets being open. Second largest market in the world, Europe, right? The European market. So that's what's happening here. All right, so I hope that answers it for you. If not, let me know. Pressure cooker. Paul said, how would you know that trend was upward and how to join? Sorry, Paul, which trend? I just caught the question from 4 minutes ago. I can't remember 4 seconds back. So help me out a little bit with what you were talking about there. A little long, who said that? Trader Will said a little long. Was it, how many candles was it? So if we go from here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good up to 34. After the pressure cooker. Okay, so basically, Paul, what we're looking at is this, right? The pressure cooker takes us in here, and I'll adjust this right here. Right, that's pretty darn close. We should go back one more candle in there. Maybe not. We'll go with the current candle that we drew it off of right here, right? So how did I know it was an upward trend? Well, very first thing, Paul, is if we take this back, right? Let's see. I lost it. All right, there we go. Take it back to Friday. If I go back and look at longer time frames, Paul, I've got a nice bottom left corner. I've got a nice bullish trend on a 30-minute chart on the S&P 500. On my daily chart, it's pretty clear that I'm in a bullish pattern. That's bottom center chart. It's taking a little while for TradeStation to react, that bottom center chart. And we got our breakout from there. So the 4 green upwards. So here's the thing, Paul. I would not have waited until here to get in. My entry on this would have been here. And I'm not per se saying you should trade the SPX. You could, but I would be doing that more of a futures contract than an index if I'm trying to trade the SPX. Now you trade the SPY, or you trade other positions that are affected or are moving in similar patterns or fashions of the way the S&P 500 is moving, okay? So that breakout candle, Paul, would have been our entry. So that is the confirmation movement. Yes, we're looking for the breakout. So what would have happened is we had this 4108.33 in here. We would have looked at a breakout here. So I probably would have been in a short position on this and got stopped out. But my position would have been very small because it's going against the overall market. We really want to take these in the direction of the overall market, which was bullish on that day, right? And even longer term than just that day, it has been bullish. And then we got that great continuation right into the end of the day. You're welcome, Paul. Absolutely. You're welcome. Brad said thank you. You're welcome, Brad. Absolutely. Cool. All right. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Let me take you over here. So I get asked, and someone dropped it in here earlier. I just didn't bother going to it. I get asked all the time on GameStop, is that still a viable short trade, Rob? We can go check it out. I know the answer without looking at it, but come on. I don't know why my option chain on TradeStation just does this once in a while. It messes me up. I probably need to really transition over to version 10 of TradeStation from 9.5. All right, so let's go get all strikes. For me, I'm looking at the $40 strike as my selling position. I am at 5x7 right now. That's about what it was last week too. I looked at it Friday afternoon. There's nothing there. There's nothing there as a potential for me to say, oh, I want, yeah, there's no premium. Even if I jumped up to the 50, which I don't want to, it's only 13x14. I really would want to be looking at a minimum of 20 cents. That's the $60 strike. GameStop has not been there recently, but they have since the Reddit. Okay. They had that big run up. Let's fix that. Sorry. They had that big run up in here, and that pull down took us down to about 38.5. This overall pattern does not excite me into a bearish position right now. So could we see the stock making a move back down potentially? Robert, are you still holding your GameStop? And I know you bought yours a long time ago. Have you been writing covered calls on it? So Robert does still have it. He bought his way back before any of the Reddit move. He was not part of the Reddit revolution. His was pre-Reddit out there, right? And I mean, Robert, I remember trying to write the $800 calls when the stock was trading at 300 or so, and the market wouldn't give it to him. Difficult when you have to have a broker place it for you. Yeah, that doesn't help, Robert. Is that still what they're doing? They're not allowing you to do it online. You've got to have a broker assist on it. Yeah, still. Okay. Not a good place to be, and certainly not a position that you want to go and try to transfer to another broker, because in transition for the ACAT, you could see this puppy drop and you wouldn't be able to get out of the position. So not really where you want to be. So guys, was that helpful? What we went through on looking at the S&P, we went through looking at the highs, and we spent a lot of time going over the market and what the expectations are, right? And the things that you need to do. So remember, those of you that are brand new, I make it real simple. 1 for yes, 2 for no. If it wasn't helpful, tell me. But don't just say no, tell me why. Tell me what we could do different or better. My goal, I always strive here to make sure I give you guys great content throughout the course of the training, right? Yeah, I got it, Robert. Excellent, excellent point. Good. Donato said excellent. Lots of ones coming in. All right. Good. Very helpful. All right. Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at some candidates, guys. Tell me the ones you want to look at today. Go ahead and drop the symbols in. Give me a second here. Nice. All right. So what do we got here? Trips got in. Micron, MU Micron. All right. MU. Let's go 5, 4. All right. So I'm going to get a better zoom. So Micron had great earnings come out. they tried to retest on the 8 moving average. It didn't. It did get a nice bounce off of the 5. We are getting a little bit of a topping pattern here, and it's not the first time we've been there. We ran up back here in the beginning of March. Then we ran up here in the mid-March and got near that 96.16 level. So I really want to see it get above that 96.16 trip on a close and a bounce before taking it. But, you know, the 382 is right above. So we don't have a lot of room in there. Oh, what we don't have is a 100-point level. So we're splitting this thing way down as far as price goes. So let's put 100 in there. Let's make this dash dot. All right. So it actually, what just happened? Let's see. So what just happened? Let me get rid of my crosshair for a second. In here, what do you see inside of here? And now I ask a question, I'm going to screw everybody up with moving around candidates. I'm not going to see it. So I will answer it for you. Look at the distance between 96 and 1698. Look at between 98 and 100. Look at 100 to 102. Equal, yeah, they're fibbits. They're equal lanes. They're like lanes on a highway, the way Ryan describes it, right? Equal dollar amounts, or close. Whoops, not what I want to do. But equal lanes. What we've just done there is we created with fibs and the 100-point level, we've got equal distance levels in there. So it's going to be a tight run trip on Micron. So caution. I know there's some issues because of semis. I saw Intel on this morning. Someone else was talking as well on CNBC. But that's where we're at, trip on MU. Etsy. So I hope that was helpful, Trip. Just make sure I got them all. Okay. Come on. Oh, I don't think I have my mouse back yet. There we go. That's why. More better. Much more better. In the infamous words of Mr. Schwartz, my metal shop teacher. That's a much more better. Etsy was from whom? All right, so John, on Etsy, we've already made the move, right? And what I mean by that is we pushed up to the 221.62 level, right? Do any of you see a particular pattern setting up in here? Don't type it in, just think about it. I'm not saying that that's the top and we're not going any higher. But I have a horizontal bottom at about that 198.5. I've got a descending top. There's definitely some concern in there. Now, all of that to John to say this. I was just going to say, if we break the 221.62, break, retest, and bounce, there you have it. But now with a descending triangle in there, if we can get that breakout even better, stronger, because we have a confluence of the 221.62 and the descending line inside of there. So look for a close above that, John, a retest and a bounce, and we're looking at 231 as your first target. All right, I hope that helps. So Brad said, can you show us how to show the orange and yellow vertical lines again? Do you know if there's an equivalent function on TOS? I don't know if it's on TOS. Does anybody know if you can put these lines on TOS? It is a function setting, but I don't remember how to set it up. I've done it. That's how long ago I've done it. I've got 2 different ones in there. So it's a function. So there's the function. Month, day, space equals space, and 2 characters for the month and 2 characters for the day. So this yellow bar will show up every year on 429 if 429 is a market day. All right. So, but I don't know if it's available on TOS or not. Sorry about that. All right, let's keep going. So, John, I hope that was helpful on Etsy. And then Keith's asking for NVIDIA. All right, need a bigger picture. Bigger picture. There we go. That's enough. Big. Okay. So we are in a bullish bias, true bull. I mean, today was a great day with the stretch down to the 570 and a half up to 589. And we respected those fib lines very, very well. I would prefer, Keith, to see the 8 moving average up at the 570.51 level and a bounce off of there. But the trade is the bounce up the 570 and a half up to that 589 with the next target at 600 if it continues to go from there. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Brenda is asking for SMH. All right, so we had a nice uptrending pattern. We kind of broke out of it, and it almost looks like we're trying to form a new one. We did run into this as resistance. Do I have anywhere on SMH that I can draw a decent fib? So let me do this. Let me go ahead and remove or edit these lines, and I'm not going to put extensions in there. I still want to leave the base of the line in place, but I don't want an extension. So I get it away from what we're looking at now being in our way. All right, we had this good move down, this strong push down. We had a nice strong push up. If you look at the overall moves in here, you got this here is 1. So another move in there is 2. You got this one in here is 3. And this one right here is 4. So we're looking at 29, 32, 34, 33. This would be the third one that I drew, 13 bar one, would be the better one to draw off of, right? On this here, we had, it's very sloppy. Actually, let me not do that. Let me do this instead. All right, let's get a drawing tool. What's going on now is we had this move down and we went back up. We had to move down, we went back up. Move down, I mean, very sloppy inside of here. Big, big, big directional moves in there. And at this point, we would have violated already the negative 8, the 882 level, so we would be done. So we're not going to focus on that one. So now, with that being said, we're going to draw the fibs off of here. All right. So we're looking at, we got a fib right in the middle there. Let's see, fib is 13 and a half, 46. We don't need to split the lines at all. So you're in a tough position, Brenda, on SMH because I don't have a clear and concise entry. So caution on this one. I'd have to wait for it to get above the 256 or you day trade it between the moving average and the 256 level. All right, hope that was helpful, Brenda. Let's see, Mike's asking for a cat. Catmandu. All right, Caterpillar, earnings. Be very cautious with earnings coming up, right? I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but it shows on 426. It's before my yellow bar, which tells me don't do a directional trade. With that being said, we're looking for potentials. I would want to see the move up above the 233, the retest of the 233, and the bounce. I'm not using these lines right now, so we'll take those off. And we're looking at 239 and a half as resistance. Second resistance would be 244 and 3/4. But careful about the earnings unless you're day trading it. I'm okay with day trades on it. Alibaba, BABA. Just checking, guys, making sure I'm not missing anything on the market. All right. So, Alibaba is settling a lawsuit and or has a lawsuit, and what a great move today on Baba. Let me go ahead and unscrunch this. Right, so we moved it up into bullish territory. The news was good. The news was strong, right? But I would be cautious on anything on this outside of a day trade right now. And the day trade would be a retest of the 237.73 and a bounce would be the potential entry. But I would not directional take a directional trade on this at all. All right, so Zuriel is PLTR. All right, so we're looking at planetaire. All right, lower price stock. We do have fibs drawn on here right now. Moving averages are in the incorrect order. The green is on top, the pink is down below. I don't know why I'm not seeing a 55 on this. That's interesting. So based on what I see, we're at a 23.34. If you can get a bounce off here, 25.74 is my resistance. And so somewhere down below that 25.5, 25.25 would be the target for PLTR. So no FOMO 1. No FOMO. Were you in class with me last Friday on YouTube? For some reason, your handle sounds familiar. Could you please look at Mara? All right, let's see. Mara. And the rest of the comment was, or question was, and Riot, given that Coinbase will have a direct offering this Wednesday. So Mara is in a great bullish move. Earnings long gone at this point, so nothing to worry about with her. And the earnings were, not. Let me get a cross here. The earnings weren't stellar. We had this pullback, but this Coinbase news could be enough to drive it. So you're looking at 54 and 59 of the two upside targets on it. Above that, we're looking at 67.71. Right? Is this? Let's see. No. All right. So we're nowhere near all-time highs. Right? But we are going to see something of concern about that 55-ish level. So be cautious of the last time we made that big run up. That's where we ran out of steam. And we pulled back to where we laid for years in there before we finally got this recent run taking place on it. But it is a news-driven announcement, right, or stock. So that's Mara, and the other one was Riot. So let's put a fib on here. A Fibonacci. Draw it in here. Let's see. All right, earnings past the yellow bar, so we're good. I do see a wedging pattern setting up potentially. All right, so we're well past the convex of the well, not the convex, but we're well past the point of no return. So we may just get a peter out on this. But once again, that downtrend line that comes off of that recent swing high we had there, if we can get a close above the 55.5, a retest and a bounce, that may be the opportunity to take an entry into the trade. All right, let me see. There's going to be a whole lot of questions in here. Let's see. All right, so Joan is asking for AMD. So I hope that was helpful on those, on Mara and Ryan. AMD. Overall pattern is bearish. It's not true bear, but it is bear, without a doubt. So we're looking at 79 as our downside target. Not a lot of room inside of there. I'd want to see us get under the 79, a retest of the 79 and a fail down to about 74 on AMD. ACB. I hope you didn't want to put in Mike ABC. ACB. Yuck. All right, so let's see if we can make this work. Nope, we can't. All right. Yeah, that will do that. Okay. So someone had asked a question about how do you know where to draw the fibs from? A lot more than I have, a lot more time than I have right now to actually go over it. Okay. So when we're looking at ACB, I mean, there's not a lot of room to go. I'm not a fan of stocks that are at these prices, especially if we're trying to trade it bearish. There's nothing for recover. There's nothing for it to go to. There's not a whole lot left. How far down can it go, right? So that concerns me a little bit on an ACB, right, Mike? So caution there. There's nothing that tells me, if you're looking at it as recovery, nothing that tells me recovery yet. I need to see us get above the highest moving average and the 8, the pink line, and at least make it above the green before I would even consider anything bullish on this position. So I hope that helps. Yeah, so why not? I'll look at NQ. It's just a candidate. I only have the continuous open on here. I don't have open the como se llama? Why did that change? Why did that change to GME? Looking for my NQ. I'm like, where the heck did it go? Okay, let's see. All right, there we go. So right now, this is a daily, a 5-minute candle. Let's go ahead and switch this over to a daily chart. Well, let me do it while it's in a 5. There we go. Okay. All right. So overall pattern, nice and bullish. Good pullback, break above, retest, and bounce. Right now, we've got to look at the recent highs, which is where we were. No different than if we're looking, Sarah, at the, let's see, it's S $sign, I forget. Yeah, so MPQ. No different if we're looking here, Sarah, at the NASDAQ, right? We've got a little bit higher high there. And again, NASDAQ and Q not exactly the same. But we've got that higher high that came in here February 16th or so, 15th, 16th, right? So that definitely is going to be an area of contention for us. Right now, we're looking here at February 16th, same day, just different price level. I'd be cautious just with that. You're definitely looking at a potential breakout above that zone, right? I did this exercise the other day. I don't remember. I don't remember what we did on the Qs, but I shared this in Pop yesterday, right? So let's see. 1, 2. I'll make fun of my Excel skills, and that should be a 1, not okay. Copy. All right. So right now we're sitting on NQ at 13,812. Right? When we look back to the spreadsheet, we've got a 10,000 and a 17,000. So we have nothing that we've got to contend with on major fib levels. Right? But if you take 17,711 and you take away from it 10,946 and you divide that by 2. Did I hit divide on it? I did times. Divide by 2 plus 10,946. Nope, did something wrong. All right, let's try that again. 17,711 minus 10,946. I'm going to write that number down so I don't lose it again. 6765 divided by 2 is 3382.50 plus 10,946. All right, 14,328. So if we come back over here, Sarah, and we go to 14,328. We'll snap a line up there. That is a Fibit. That's a Fibit 14,328.5. Right, that is a fibit of the two major fib levels. Fibit. All right. So that's the major area that I would be focused on. And I definitely would talk with Brandon on what he sees as the next levels up. But that's recent high we have, and that 14,328 are definitely where I have the biggest concerns there. Yeah, may the Schwartz be with you. This was, when I went to high school, there was no Schwartz be with you or Force be with you. Let's see. So Robert did say you could put vertical lines on TOS and then modify the line properties. So drop a vertical line, modify the properties for whoever was asking for. Sorry, I don't remember, on the for the orange and yellow lines. All right. Let's see. Yeah, you're right, Robert. I could have done it in less keystrokes. Oh yeah, Spaceballs, but I'm still thinking of may the Force be with you. But right, in Spaceballs, it was Schwartz be with you. Okay, so let me see. We got a couple minutes, guys. I'm probably not going to get through all of them. Let me keep rolling through. RBLX. Remember, when you come next Monday, have your candidates ready. RBLX, I can't even begin to give it an answer. It's too new of a company. It's got, I don't even have a moving average on it yet. So sorry, Zoro, not the ones that I go after. It's to me, this is pure speculation. Big fine on Bobby. Oh yeah, Rick, I saw that this morning. Larry's asking for Baidu. All right, so Baidu, great setup, right? We've been talking about this for a bit now. I have. We're looking at 211 is our target to the downside. I wouldn't be doing anything new with it, Larry, at this point, unless you're going to move back up towards the 8. It's a little bit concerning for me. Paula said my Italian is perfect. Paula, I know food. I know the curse words. Other than that, not too much. Actually, my Italian teacher loved the way that I said "come si chiama," right? Because in proper, and not Sicilian, right, was "come si chiama lei." Oh, drove her friggin' nuts. She wanted to kill me. She wanted to kill me. Let's see. Sarah said, "Awesome, thanks. Looks like my fib is drawn at the same as you. That's great. Thanks for taking the time to look at NQ. I really appreciate it. You got it, Sarah. Absolutely. Sorry, Brad. I don't know where the 50% retracement was. I'm just getting now down to the questions. So help me with what symbol that was, and I'll gladly take a look at it. And Brad said, thanks for the advice on TOS, Robert. Brenda said, Rob, when they talk about a SPAC, what do they mean? You know, it's just a way that they bring a company public without having to go through all of the stuff before. They're building off of something else that exists and taking it public from that. So you're going to see, I think, a lot more, right, come si chiama, exactly, Paula, right? You're going to see a lot more companies coming out with SPACs than the IPOs or a regular IPO. And it's companies that are coming out 5 and 8 years sooner, 3 years sooner than they really should have or would have been able to had they done it on their own. Right. So that's really what you're looking at. All right. So, guys, there's still a few left. If you're interested, great. If you're not, that's okay. You know me, we're not here to push, but I don't want the emails that say, Rob, wait, I wanted it and it was gone. I'm letting you know we've got a very limited supply of them right now. Sean's got a handful in the office. A bunch did go through today. If you're interested, awesome. Go ahead and pick it up. If any of you have it, right, tell me what you think, guys. I know for me, I love it. Every time I ask this question, I get that answer from people. But so with that, I think we are done. Amy, if you could drop in a link again for that clock, that would be fantastic. There you go. Amy just dropped that in. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. I will see all of you at our next update. Take care, folks. See you soon. I'll leave the room open for a few minutes so you can grab that clock link, and I will talk soon with you. Bye now.